Champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in.
Welcome to WrestleMania week, Cody. Are you excited for WrestleMania 33, brother?
Yes, I am. I didn't think I would be coming into it because, we talked about it. We didn't get a few matches that we wanted for this WrestleMania, but it turned out to be a pretty exciting card, it seems like.
Let's pump the brakes for just a second. Let's just explain why the hell we hadn't been on, hadn't cut a podcast in quite a while. I think damn near a month now. And we just had all kinds of stuff going. We actually did record one, and then my computer died while it was exporting, and I lost all the sound and stuff. But well, that might have been a blessing in disguise because I think we can do a lot better than what we done on that podcast. And I think we will do a lot better with this episode right now. And there really isn't a better time to be back right now than now. I mean, hell, this will be maybe the biggest show that we do all year.
Yeah, definitely the biggest week in wrestling. Kind of like International Fight Week is UFC.
Kind of like UFC 200, yeah, and all that stuff was this past summer. Man, it's how ironic that it's our episode 10, so it's our first little milestone. It only took us damn near 4 months, but we turned them out.
You do what you can.
Well, man, before we were talking on the phone before we pressed start on the record button, and I basically said, is there anything else you want to talk about besides wrestling today? And you said, nah, let's get right into the wrestling. So it is all wrestling today. Not much UFC, not much MMA news to talk about anyway. So we'll get right into WrestleMania 33, the build, all the matches. We'll give our predictions, and we'll go from there. We'll give you everything you need to know before this Sunday. So we were talking a second ago. You said that the build to this WrestleMania has been better than what I thought it was going to be coming out of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. Like, I thought the build to Cena and Miz mixed tag team match was going to be a lot lighter. And I thought the build to Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt was going to be a lot better than it has been.
Yeah. So we both agree that we've talked about this match and what we would rather see John Cena wrestle at for this, but we can't both deny that the build to this match has been pretty good. Maybe the best that dare I say, maybe the best build to any match on this card.
I think so. It's right up there with Triple H and Rollins.
Yeah, Shane McMahon and AJ Styles have been pretty good too.
True.
But the promos that Miz and Cena have been cutting, man, they've been getting it done. Like you said, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt's story started off pretty hot, and then kind of has just dipped a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. Just they kind of lost track of that, but we're going to get into all that. It's good, man. You know what I'm kind of comparing this to? Coming off of WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans, the build to that WrestleMania was just was magnificent. I thought you had Daniel Bryan facing off against the Authority, really, which was half a year's worth of build going back from SummerSlam, culminated in New Orleans that night. You had Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Bray Wyatt. Really, the show was really pumped up very big.
Remember all the little kids around the ring and sheet masks?
Yeah, I remember all that, man. And then WrestleMania 31, the build kind of sucked to it because you had everybody boo Roman Reigns out of the building at the Royal Rumble, and then I think the very last image on the Go Home Raw show before WrestleMania 31 was, do you remember this? It was Lesnar had the belt, holding it above his head, and Reigns reached for the belt, and they did like a tug-of-war thing, and then it just went black. It just ended.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
And I was thinking, what the hell is this? So I did not really care for the build really at all to WrestleMania 31, I thought the only thing that was really worth it was Triple H and Sting. But the actual event exceeded my expectations by far. So
yeah, it was pretty good, but WrestleMania 30 is one for the ages, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow that one.
No, yeah, absolutely, right up there with WrestleMania 17 and 19, and a lot of those older Mania cards that we've come to remember and cherish. But man, WWE needs this to be a good event, because last year at WrestleMania 32 they had the biggest live attendance crowd they've ever had in history, over 100,000 people in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, and didn't the matches and the card itself didn't quite live up to expectations. So they've got a hit this year, and we'll see if they do. But I think they could have done stuff better than what they've done, or maybe I would have done it a little differently in the build. But I think overall we got a pretty good card shaping up.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you ready to jump right into these matches, man?
Let's do it.
First of all, before we do that, did you know there are a total of 13 matches on this card?
I did. I read that the other day, and I read all the kind of guys that report the wrestling, not necessarily Meltzer, but a few other ones, are all complaining about it, saying you have too many title fights, too many matches, and it's going to drag on.
Yeah, we've seen WrestleMania hit that 4-hour mark in the past couple of years. I think it actually came closer to 4.5 hours last year. I can remember it was midnight before I finished. It was well past 11 o'clock before Roman Reigns and Triple H, their match finished. And I think the event started at around 5:30 or 6. So,
yeah. Very
long night of wrestling. But again, I'm fine with that as long as they give the matches the time to build.
It's the Super Bowl of wrestling, man.
Let it play. It's the biggest, like you said, it's the biggest night of the year for a wrestling fan. So 13 matches, but nevertheless, that does mean that there are going to be some matches that get longer time and some matches that get cut short. And I think we'll see that this weekend. So let's just keep that and keep that with an open mind as we go into this weekend, because something's going to be short. I just hope it's not Goldberg and Lesnar.
Yeah, like every other match today.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into it. This will be on the pre-show. We got a women's match. 6-pack women's match, in fact. Alexa Bliss, the SmackDown Women's Champion, facing off against Becky Lynch, Natalya, Mickie James, Carmella, and a returning Naomi. 6-pack challenge. This is kind of all over the place. I know you said you haven't been watching SmackDown like you wanted to because of work and stuff like that, but they kind of just threw all these women together and said, go have a match on the pre-show.
Yeah. And that would be a good one. That SmackDown women division, it's not as good as Raw, but it's coming together.
Yeah. They're bringing in Mickie James, older veterans, Alexa Bliss.
Naomi, surprisingly, man, she came back on fire.
Yeah. And she's gonna be my pick to win this, because she injured her knee a couple months back, and they didn't know if she would be ready for WrestleMania. Maybe it was like a month or something like that. I don't think it was quite 2 months. But she's returning in her hometown of Orlando. I think she's going to get the win here.
I'm going with Natalya just because that's my girl.
Hey, you got to do it sometimes.
That's it.
I'm really excited for this next matchup. I think this could be a show stealer if given the right amount of time, maybe 20 minutes, in fact. But it's kind of throwing me off a little bit because they're putting it on the pre-show, so I don't know how much time it will get. This is Neville versus Austin Aries. Neville's defending his Cruiserweight Championship.
This will definitely be a good match. Neville has been great since he came back as a heel. And Austin Aries, he's a great wrestler too. Any Cruiserweight match, man, it has to have time to develop. Those guys have to have time to get in there and do what they do.
Yeah, can't be spot after spot after spot, which Neville is one of the best workers in the company right now. Austin Aries, of course, has made his name on TNA and Ring of Honor and stuff like that before coming to WWE, so he's no scrub either. So this is going to be a really good match. I really don't have a favorite to win here. I'm just gonna. I know you like Neville, and I know you'll probably pick Neville, so I'm gonna go with Austin Aries, kind of the upset win.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm gonna go with Austin Aries because they've been swapping the cruiserweight title around, kind of like they do women's belt. You know.
Yeah.
Or maybe unless they were just waiting on Neville to come back, but I'm gonna go with Austin Aries anyway.
I think I think we'll see. We may see an upset here. Austin Aries. These two are the best the cruiserweight division has to offer right now, by far. I think.
I agree.
I like Rich Swann. I like Cedric Alexander and guys like that. But these two are the cornerstones of it. They are the biggest names. So
Swann and Gallagher, man, those two are good too.
Jack Gallagher, yes. Jack Gallagher is pretty amazing performer, funny guy. But if Austin Aries gets the win, they might be able to continue and have several matches down the line with him and Neville. So keep that in mind. But we're both saying Austin Aries. So
I'll tell you what I like about the cruiserweights too. Before we go to the next match, I like how they swap the belt around. I like how it's not kept on one guy because it gives these young guys a chance to be in the spotlight. You know,
yeah,
that's a real good thing for them.
Well, since they've debuted the Cruiserweight Championship back in this summer, they had the Cruiserweight title tournament, which was an awesome tournament, by the way, this summer. And then in August, they debuted on Raw. They've had, so TJ Perkins been champion, what I thought was very underwhelming reign. Brian Kendrick, who you've discussed your thoughts on that, had the title for a little while. Then they gave it to Rich Swann, Rich Swann was a guy that was really connecting with the crowd, but it kind of seemed like they were just waiting for Neville to come back. And
that's what I'm saying a while ago. You know,
yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were just waiting on Neville, or they want to swap it around and give some of these young guys a chance to be in the spotlight and see how they react to it, because a lot of those guys have never been on the big show before.
Right. For sure.
Such as Ring of Honor or TNA or anything, you know.
I was actually kind of expecting a ladder match. I figured they would just throw like 6 cruiserweights in there, 6 guys, and they do a big ladder match for the title. But
that would have been fireworks.
That would have been awesome. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna like the one-on-one Neville versus Austin Aries. You want to move on to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
One of my favorite events. Let's do it.
That's interesting that you say that, because I felt that the first year they did this match at WrestleMania 30, they had Cesaro come out and win it. It was kind of like they're like, oh, well, they're gonna make Cesaro. He's gonna get a big push, and it didn't exactly happen that way. And then WrestleMania 31, Big Show won it, which obviously Big Show has a legitimate contender to win that match because he's the biggest guy to wrestle since Andre the Giant. But, Big Show didn't really need the win, and I can't even tell you who won it last year, man.
I can.
Who won it?
The guy who got a big push. Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin did win okay, well, you got me on that one.
And he got a big push.
He did get a big push, and he's wrestling for the Intercontinental Championship on this card, and we'll get to that. Go ahead and throw it out there. Who's going to win this match? We all know who's going to win it. Don't tell me you forgot. Braun!
I really don't think they'll let him win, to be honest with you.
You don't think Braun Strowman's going to win this Battle Royal?
I do not.
Well, why do you say that? Because he has to be the odds-on favorite.
I think he's the odds-on favorite, but I think something will happen and somebody else will win it.
All right, so who you picking?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a guy that I really wanted to see have a bigger spot on this card than just the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But, yeah, if Sami won that would... I could see that. But I'm going to go with Braun. So... Two solid picks. So that's the pre-show. So we're going to have about 3 matches on the pre-show. I think that's be all they have time for. So, definitely check out the pre-show. Biggest thing I would check it out for is Neville and Austin Aries for sure, because they could tear the house down. That's a gem right there. And, of course, those Battle Royals are always... They can turn into cluster mucks at times, but I enjoy them, so... Let's get into the main card right now. They introduced this weapon into this match, and I'm much more excited for it now. We got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions, facing off against Cesaro and Sheamus, and then the team of Enzo Amore and Big Cass in a ladder match for those titles.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my top picks for matches of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you give these guys a good 15, 20 minutes to go out there, and I mean, it's a good one to open the card with because WWE always loves putting these ladder matches first because they get the crowd excited and stuff like that. Do a lot of big spots and stuff. Did you actually see where Sheamus got a bad cut above his eye at Raw the other night from whenever they were swinging that ladder around?
No, I missed that.
Huge cut. We'll go back and share it on the Facebook, but it looked nasty. But he's going to be good to go for WrestleMania. I mean, that's not even any question.
That just helped the build up.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. They introduced the ladder into it really late, though. So this must have been like a last-minute decision. Well, this match might not have the most steam going into this weekend. Let's throw a damn ladder in there and see what these guys can do.
Well, it's kind of like you said earlier. Every year at WrestleMania, they usually have a ladder match. And it's usually, Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Is what it usually is. And they had a bunch of reporters. I read a couple articles on that saying that their biggest pop they get 9 times out of 10 at WrestleMania is for your ladder match for the Intercontinental title. And why are they not doing a ladder match this year?
It used to be the
got together and decided to have one.
Yeah, it used to be the Money in the Bank that got a big pop, That was the tradition, but now since they've moved that to its own pay-per-view, which is a smart decision, by the way, that sells a lot of tickets right there. But it almost seems like it's not WrestleMania without a ladder match. But these matches are pretty damn dangerous, though. So we've seen a lot of guys get hurt in the past. Sheamus got his eye busted open on Monday night. So looking for a lot of big spots between these guys, but hope they do it safely.
The worst one was Joe Mercury.
Oh,
man, that was terrible.
Yeah, brutal. The ladder come up and smacked Mercury right in the nose, busted his. He was bleeding so bad I couldn't tell where it was coming from. So
I think it broke his nose and his orbital socket.
Yeah, it just looked really messed up. These matches are always fun. You're gonna have Gallows and Anderson who are kind of the big bullies. They can swing that ladder around. I feel like Cesaro is gonna kind of anchor the match. He's probably the best worker out of all these guys. He'll set up the spots and stuff like that. Really, there aren't.
Him and Enzo are about the only two that can get up there and do things off the ladder, to be honest with you.
That's what I was fixing to say, because really there's not a traditional high flyer in this match, which is kind of odd. Enzo is a small enough guy where he can do some stuff, but he's not going to do a corkscrew backspin off the top of the ladder. He's not Neville,
Yeah, by far, most of these guys are going to be raw power throwing the ladder around, like you said.
Which is going to be something different, but I'm not opposed to seeing that.
No, most definitely not.
So I think we both, I think I know who you're going to pick, and I'm going to pick probably the same thing you're going to pick. Enzo and Cass, it's time to put the belts on these guys.
I think so too. I think it's long overdue.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the Intercontinental Championship match. Dean Ambrose, the Intercontinental Champion, facing off against a guy we talked about a second ago, Baron Corbin. Corbin won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last year. Moved up on the card. He's now on the main card and facing for a title. So it's big. It's going to be a big night for him.
Yeah, and rightfully deserved. He's turned into a great worker. And like when you and I went and watched him at SmackDown, he got in there with John Cena and never missed a beat.
He's a great heel.
Yeah. He makes you hate him. It makes you think that nobody else wants to be around him either.
And I don't know what his personality is backstage. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or anything, but he kind of gives off this attitude that I'm here to get, he kind of gives that attitude off that he might be a bit of an asshole. Not saying that he is, but that's just.
Well, even I read reports from other wrestlers saying he's an asshole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that's really just his natural self out there in the ring that you're seeing.
Well, hey, may not be nice for the guys backstage, but it's certainly nice for the viewers. I think Corbin's going to win this match. I think that WWE has big things in store for him, as they've shown in his build-up. He was the guy that eliminated Braun Strowman in the Royal Rumble, which was very surprising to me. You know, I kind of feel a little bit for Dean Ambrose because he's such a talented guy, and I'm such a fan of his, but he's just kind of lost a step or two over the past year, and I don't really know what it is.
Well, it's almost like they give him a belt, and then they prep somebody up to take it from him.
Yeah, almost like he's a transitional champion or something. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a gatekeeper would be.
Well,
He gets to hold the belt.
And he kind of got screwed last year at WrestleMania because they put him with Brock. And the build up to that match was pretty good. They're introducing weapons in the build up and all this other stuff. And
Foley gives him the barbed wire bat.
Foley gives him the barbed wire bat, yeah. And I mean, they're basically setting it up like it's going to be some brutal, hardcore affair. And Dean Ambrose is getting huge amount of cheers from the crowds leading up to that. And then 10 minutes at the actual match, 10 minutes go by, and 10 suplexes later, and it's nothing. That's all it was.
I think one of them got hit with a kendo stick. That's about it.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose popped Brock in the back with a kendo stick a couple times, and it just could have been so much more. And then we obviously know why it was like that. Lesnar had checked out. He was going to be prepping for a UFC fight right after that. So Ambrose kind of got screwed on that, I think. But then, he went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship this past year. But then AJ Styles emerged as the top guy on SmackDown, and they put that belt on him. And he's really lost something since leaving that feud with AJ. And I can't put my finger on it. But yeah.
I think the Miz and him had a good feud. I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
All those segments they did, it was funny, and they had some great matches.
Well, what is it with Ambrose? How can they fix this?
I don't know, man. To me, there's so much more talent than him to hold titles.
Yeah.
Me being honest with you.
Well, he's kind of been the odd man left out after the Shield broke up. Seth Rollins was kind of the number one heel, and then of course WWE is in love with Roman, and then it's kind of like Dean has been the guy that took a back seat for a little while.
Which is ironic because when they were in the Shield, he was the only one holding a singles title.
Yeah. I don't know if you turn him heel. I would like to see his character be taken a little bit more seriously than what it is at times, because he's Brian Pillman is what it is. His personality wise.
That's what they tried to make him into.
Yeah. Well, we hope
You remember Brian Pillman was a great worker, a hell of a wrestler, and never got his due because they had so many other guys that were always had the belt, like Sting and Bret Hart and ones like that. Sting in WCW when he was there, and Bret Hart when he was in WWE.
Yeah. So you think maybe it's just the talent around Dean Ambrose to where it's kind of holding him back a little bit?
Yeah, I think it is, really. I think maybe you go let him try for tag titles again with somebody else, tag him up with somebody.
Or this is going to be a possibility where what could re-energize him is reforming the Shield, but you got to get all those guys on the same brand, and you got to have somebody for him to face off against. But that might be, that might be down the line. So we both going Baron Corbin for this match. Should be a pretty good match. They've kind of Baron Corbin's been kind of brutal leading up to this match. They've hitting him with pipes and stuff like that. So I was kind of expecting a street fight with this match, but nevertheless, as of right now, it will be just a plain old singles match.
I think that was a time constraint deal too,
Maybe so, yeah.
Matches.
Maybe so, yeah. And
well, we didn't see a cruiserweight ladder match also.
Probably so, yeah. Let's move on to a mixed gender tag match. We touched on it at the beginning of the podcast. John Cena and his girlfriend Nikki Bella taking on The Miz and his wife Maryse. What more can we say about this than we've already said? Or we haven't said, I mean.
I didn't really like it at first, and now I'm kind of a fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Still would rather see John Cena and The Undertaker. But, I don't think the match will be much of anything. I think it'll probably be relatively quick. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm
I
gonna go.
think Cena would dominate him. To be honest with you.
You think Cena will dominate Miz?
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen because they built Miz up pretty strongly. So I don't want to see him just get murdered out there by John Cena. But I do think Cena and Nikki Bella will win. There's rumors that Nikki Bella is about to step away from wrestling after this, so maybe they'll give him the win just for the heck of it. But it would be pretty interesting if the heels won.
I don't think you're gonna see that because also rumored that John Cena's gonna propose after the match.
Oh Lord.
Kind of like a Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth type deal.
Now, does he really want to do that, or is that because that's what Miz and promos have been like? They've been cutting some scathing promos on each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was reported, and that's why the Miz did those promos on it.
Interesting. Let's move on to a match that we're both excited for, and I really think that this, on the main card anyway, this will probably be my match that steals the show. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens, United States Championship.
I would have loved to see this for the Universal title.
Yeah, me too.
But I'll take it anyway. I'd like to see Jericho get a run with a world title before he retires, you know. But
yeah.
He's been a great U.S. champion, and I've always been a fan of Jericho when he was a heel.
Yeah. Yeah, there's rumors that Jericho might step away for a little while, take a little sabbatical to go tour with his band Fozzy after WrestleMania. So I'm gonna.
He kind of does this from time to time, anyway. You know, every few years.
Yeah, but no, like you said, this match to me was what should have been the Universal Championship right here, and really hot angle. I've really enjoyed this from when they started it way back in the summer, when these guys teamed up, all the way to the breakup, to the promos they've been cutting on each other afterwards. I'm going to go Kevin Owens just because I think Jericho kind of wants to put him over, and that's kind of his shtick these days.
I agree. I think he's going to take some time away.
Yeah, kind of like what we just said. How long do you think these guys get in the ring?
I bet they get a pretty good bit.
20 to 30? You think they give them 30?
I don't think they give them 30. I say 15, 20.
That'll do. This next match is a match that I'm pretty excited for. Raw Women's Champion Bayley facing off against Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax in a fatal four-way elimination match for that Raw Women's Championship. Really, just this was kind of weird that they just kind of threw the top four ladies on the Raw brand in a match and said this will be for the title. But it's got much better build, much better structure than the SmackDown women's match.
Yeah, and like we said, the Raw Women's division has skyrocketed since they did the brand split. And these four ladies here are the top women in the sport right now.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Nia Jax is on their level right now. I think she's a monster.
I think she is.
You think she is?
I think she's a different kind of wrestler. She's not the technical wrestler and your women's wrestler is going to wow you with her moves, but she's the only one out there that can gorilla press those girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different kind of wrestler, kind of like Braun Strowman is to the men.
Yeah. Well, I think that she'll serve her purpose in the match, and she'll get some heat on somebody and fling people around. But I kind of see her just being the first one eliminated.
I don't know. I'm picking her to win.
Picking Nia Jax to win.
I'm picking Nia Jax to win.
Whew. Big. You got some cojones on you, huh? Like we're betting $100. You want to put money on it? $100?
If you want to, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, if I had $100 to put down on it, I would. But
That's going to WrestleMania for next year.
Yeah, do it that way. I'm gonna say Bayley retains the title. I think that I could see Charlotte winning. Obviously, I think she's the best women's wrestler on the roster right now. She's setting herself up to have a great legacy down the line. Really, all these girls are. But I'm gonna go Bayley. I think that Sasha Banks will turn heel shortly after WrestleMania, maybe even this Sunday at WrestleMania. I think they've been kind of teasing that. Sasha is another one who, when they were flip-flopping that title back and forth between her and Charlotte, they had a lot of steam. But since they kind of stopped doing that and Charlotte had the belt and they went to Charlotte versus Bayley, Sasha, to me, has lost a little steam, too. Kind of like Dean Ambrose, kind of like what we talked about a second ago. But I think she needs to turn heel to get a little bit of that, I'm the boss, I'm the baddest bitch in the room ordeal going on.
And talking about people being assholes, I've read reports where she's the biggest asshole in the women's locker room.
Really? Now, I haven't read this. Speak to that a little bit.
I read that she doesn't pose for pictures with fans. One guy, she cussed him out because he wanted his son to get a picture with her. She cussed him out and walked off at the airport. And other wrestlers just say she's hard to be around.
So she's basically Randy Orton 2.0.
Nah. Randy Orton like that.
I'm just messing around, man. Anyway, yeah, maybe she needs. Yeah, Cody's favorite wrestler, but anyway, that's that. I haven't read those reports, so that's interesting. But yeah, I think this will be a good match.
And it might not be true. You can't ever tell.
Yeah, that's
you gotta believe everything you read on the internet, right?
If Meltzer writes it, it's 100%. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, it wasn't him. It was another guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. We talked about this earlier. This is going to be a plain old singles match. I would have rather seen this. I really thought this would have been a street fight or something like that to help suit Shane's needs about doing all the crazy stuff that he does. But I'm excited for this match. They built it up pretty well. I can't help but thinking that there's probably a better opponent out there for AJ Styles than Shane McMahon, but this is what they have to work with, and I don't think it'll be match of the night, but I don't think it'll disappoint either.
I mean, look, the Undertaker faced him last year at WrestleMania, so it's not like he's a slouch.
No, and you're right. You're 100% right there. He's not a wrestler. He's wrestled before, but he's not a wrestler. He's also 47 years old. Still in phenomenal shape, but he has more gray hair than his dad does. I don't understand that.
Just for men.
Yeah, just for okay,
coming through.
Just for men.
I
Yeah.
thought there could be a stipulation in this match. If AJ doesn't win, he's fired or something on the line here.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty clear that AJ's going to win. If AJ doesn't win, then I won't be too happy.
Maybe he loses and goes to Raw.
Well, there have been rumors that they're going to do the draft a couple months after Mania, right around June or something like that. And there's rumors that AJ will be drafted to Raw, and they might do a little babyface turn with him. So I think maybe you could see something in this match where Shane kind of gives AJ all he wants, but AJ kind of holds back a little bit and doesn't just want to kick his ass like he normally would. I can think you might be able to see something like that, but I'm going AJ. You going Shane or AJ?
I'm going AJ. I mean, Shane McMahon doesn't have anything to win or lose by winning or losing this match, so it really doesn't matter for him.
Yeah. Wasn't it crazy that we thought way back at SummerSlam we thought we were going to get a Shane McMahon and Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania?
That would have been great.
That would have been something to see, but
Most definitely.
I'd rather see Brock and Goldberg and AJ and Shane. So let's get into really the match that I might be most excited for this entire card. Seth Rollins versus the Game, the King of Kings, Triple H, in an unsanctioned match. This is going to be the street fight type deal right here.
Yeah, and this is the one they want to spend the most time on because it had the biggest build-up.
Yeah, I think they're going to give these guys ample amount of time. Of course, we know the stroke that Triple H has around the company, and he always likes to have the longer matches and stuff like that, especially at the WrestleMania. The only thing I can think that they may not give this match so long is because Seth Rollins, with the knee injury and stuff like that he's had, they may want to kind of ease him back into competition. But then part of me I really sit there and think about it. There's no way they would let him wrestle if he wasn't ready to go.
No, this is all part of the storyline.
Yeah. Now, I could see some shenanigans happen here with because definitely Samoa Joe isn't on the card. He's not wrestling, but his presence will be felt somewhere, and this looks like this is where it'll be it. So maybe they bring out Joe. Maybe they bring out a returning Finn Balor to help Rollins out. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I think it'll be the other way around then.
You think Finn Balor will come out and help Triple H?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Because if you remember, Seth Rollins is the one that injured Finn Balor.
Yeah. So you think Finn's going to turn heel?
Yeah, and that set up an angle against Seth Rollins with Finn Balor, who they ultimately wanted to put the title on in the first place.
You know what else has me thinking, too? So Triple H has kind of made this little stable of his own. He's had, obviously him, but we've seen Samoa Joe. He brought him in. Kevin Owens has been kind of teaming up with these guys lately. Maybe they bring Finn in and kind of make like an NXT Triple H's #1 guys type stable versus Seth Rollins. And then maybe that'll lead to a Shield reunion where he brings in Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and we have a big SummerSlam match or something.
That would be amazing.
That
all comes to light.
That would be awesome. But there's a lot. I really don't know what's going to happen in this match because I think they're going to throw some shenanigans out there. I'd like to see Seth get the win because I think he needs it more at this point. He definitely needs it more than Triple H does. Hunter doesn't need it at all. But
yeah, I think Seth gets the win for sure.
Seth gets a win.
I think he's going to get beat up. I think he's going to get the win.
Maybe, yeah, I could see something like that.
Joe's not in the Memorial Battle Royal?
Not that we know of. I think if he was, he'd be the odds-on favorite. I don't think he should be, for one thing. But Joe is, as of right now, is not on the card at all.
Huh.
Yeah. That was kind of the thing. They didn't really have a spot for Samoa Joe on here, but they have all these other different matches. Just kind of how it's shaped up to be. Let's get into this one. Really excited for this match. It might be bittersweet at the end, but Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Where do we start?
I'm excited for this match. I think it'll be good. I think both of them. Undertaker's getting older, so you got to be softer with it than you used to.
Yeah, and this match doesn't need to go 30 minutes.
No, most definitely not.
10 to 15, probably more on the 15 side. And we know Undertaker works at his own pace anyway. But who do you think wins? That's the thing.
I think Roman Reigns wins.
You think he retires the Undertaker?
I don't know if the Undertaker will retire.
There's been a lot of rumors about that.
Yeah, I think John Cena's going to retire.
Well,
I still have faith in that match happening.
I still do too. My only thing is, have you been reading the reports that I've been reading on the internet? And like you said earlier, it's just the internet. How do we know if it's true? But a lot of people saying that Undertaker's he's in some pain right now. His hip, he needs a full hip replacement, but he's been putting it off until he retires, and he's walking around backstage in a lot of pain and stuff like that. So this might actually be his last match. This might be his last hoorah.
Well, if that was the case, then why did he come on Raw and say that WrestleMania will not define him? He's going to wrestle more than just WrestleMania now.
That's true. I've been thinking more and more that we've been reading a lot of these reports, but I think he wants to get back to New Orleans. Next year, WrestleMania 34 is in New Orleans. Of course, he'll forever be tied to that city because that's where the streak ended that night. 4 years, it's 3 years ago now, but it'll be 4 years next year. So maybe he wants to get to WrestleMania and leave New Orleans a little better than what he left last time he was down there. He had a concussion and stuff like that. That match really wasn't up to par.
I'll tell you this.
So maybe that's where he could wrestle Cena at.
I agree. That sounds like a good idea. But just me thinking, maybe they do let Roman Reigns lose to the Undertaker to try to get some sympathy for the crowd.
Yeah. Okay. So to get him more over with the crowd. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
like get him some babyface sympathy.
Throw stuff at him when he comes out here on out the rest of his career.
Well, he's been kind of cutting some heel tendency promos in the lead up to this match. Now I know there's always a big tease: is Roman Reigns going to turn heel? He needs to turn heel. Blah 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 blah. But if he beats him, he definitely has to turn heel.
Reading what Triple H said. Somebody asked him, "Why don't you turn Roman Reigns heel?"
I read this too. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Well, if 70% of the crowd's booing him, he's already a heel."
Right. That's very true.
You remember shoving him down your throat until you really can't stand him, where I got 90 and 100% crowd booing.
Yeah.
Then I didn't have to turn him heel at all. You turned him heel.
Kind of like what they did with The Rock.
Yeah.
You know, the fan in me doesn't want this to be Hit Taker's last go round, but if it is, it's because he's ready to go. So that'll be it. I know my head's telling me to pick Roman Reigns, but I got to go with my heart. I'm picking The Undertaker.
I'm gonna go Roman Reigns because you went Undertaker. But I think
this is a tough one to pick.
Yeah, I mean it's a toss-up for sure because you don't know which way they're headed.
Right.
What they're looking to do with Reigns is how the outcome of this match is going to be, and if the Undertaker agreed to put him over.
Well,
it doesn't make a hill of shit what they want Undertaker to do. He's going to do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
earn that.
And I don't think he would have a problem putting Reigns over. I don't think so. If he had a problem putting him over, he wouldn't work with him.
Well, he might not have a problem putting him over, but he might have a problem putting him over at WrestleMania.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see for the Sunday. This match will definitely be something to watch. And
did you see the video of the Undertaker getting in the ring? The fan that videoed?
No.
Okay, they had a guy in the front row when the lights went out on Raw. You see the Undertaker, you see a guy grab the apron and pull it up, and the Undertaker slides out, and he got a video of him. He gets in the ring and he forgets his hat. And the guy reaches down there underneath the ring and hands him his hat. And he puts his hat on, and then the lights come back on.
No, I didn't see that. Where'd you find that at?
It's on Facebook. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, we'll post that to our Facebook page. There's the bell, Max Hawkins and Cody Butler, for sure, because I haven't seen that. This match is just something that the ramifications for the ending of it are going to be big. So it's always exciting in that perspective.
It's always exciting when Undertaker's at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, that's his home.
You kind of take it for granted when you don't see him. You saw him for so many years, every pay-per-view, and now you get to see him for one a year.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually you're not going to see him at all. So it's kind of,
and that day is approaching, my friend. It's got to be getting closer. He's 52 years old now, so had a birthday last week, I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I was never really a fan of his ever, but I respect what he does in the ring, and I like watching him.
We're gonna get to this at the end of the podcast, but I actually last night rewatched his and Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania 25. And, you've seen that match, obviously.
Yeah. Probably the best match I've ever seen.
I agree with you 100%. But yeah, that was, well, shit, it's getting close to 10 years ago now, but it was kind of weird watching it to see, Undertaker be in a lot better shape then than what he is now, and doing the dive over the top rope and everything like that. And then, of course, Shawn Michaels.
I don't think you'll see that Sunday.
No, you won't. But you don't need to see it.
No.
Let's get into the world title matches. Bray Wyatt, the WWE Heavyweight Champion, taking on your boy, the Royal Rumble winner, Randy Orton. We talked about this at the beginning of the podcast. Build started up pretty high, dipped down a little bit. They haven't been consistent with this. Again, this is a hard match for me to predict the winner, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Randy Orton win another belt, but I don't think Bray Wyatt's going to have a short title run.
Yeah, it's almost kind of one of these things that who needs it more. Bray Wyatt hasn't had a win at WrestleMania yet. He worked with Cena the first go-round. Obviously, he wasn't going to win that one. He worked with Undertaker the year after that. He definitely wasn't going to win that one. So it's kind of one of them things, well, you put the title on him now. You made him, he's a made guy. You put the belt on him. So now how do you sustain it? Well, can you still keep him a top guy but have him put over Randy Orton at WrestleMania?
I say no. I think he goes back down to where he came from if you drop the belt off of him.
And that's why I think That's why I think ultimately the smart decision would be to have Bray Wyatt win. But really, I really thought Orton was going to win this match, but more recently I've just been thinking, I'm like, why would he win it?
Yeah, there's really no reason for him to.
You know, I think Orton and AJ would be a hell of a program for the title going into the summer. I think that would produce some excellent top tier matches. But you know, other than that, he's pretty much faced everybody else on the card. Bray, a lot younger, hasn't been around the horn as much, so I'm gonna go with Bray.
Really can't beat him, join him thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt. Looks like you are too. Let's get to the what we presume will probably be the main event. We're not 100% certain though. It's Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate. He'll have Paul Heyman at his side, facing off against the superhero Goldberg for the WWE Universal Championship.
We've said it 100 times. This match did not need a title to be a headliner.
No.
But nonetheless, we have it. I think you get a quick match again.
Yeah, but how quick though? I mean, a minute and 30 seconds, 5 minutes. Will it be 8 to 10 minutes of just nonstop total action where one of them finally hits their finish and then they call it a day, or what?
I think they're gonna let Goldberg miss with a spear, and Brock's gonna take advantage of him and suplex him about 15 times and then pin him. F5 him and pin him.
Well, you know, I will be disappointed if that's what happens, and if that's how they're going to do that, please don't make it the main event.
I don't think they can. Brock can go. I don't think Goldberg can go.
Brock can go, and we know Brock can go, but now Brock still can't go like AJ Styles can go, but he's not meant to do that. If they give these guys 10 minutes to work with, and if they added a couple bells and whistles, chairs, kendo sticks, and stuff like that, I think they could mask it. But the thing about it is that, like you said, you don't think Goldberg can go, so or do they want to put him out and tell him, I don't care if you can go or not, give me 10 minutes. You know, and then it's just shit.
If Goldberg could go, then why did he not go with Kevin Owens?
Well,
I understand squashing Brock makes him look like a, monster, but why didn't he go with Kevin Owens?
Well, man, maybe that's just how they booked it. I know this is going to sound weird, but by having the way that match played out, where Jericho's music hits, Owens turns around, then he gets speared, jackhammer pinned. They kind of protected him a little bit in that way because it came out of nowhere, you know.
Well, then again, why? If he could go, then why in the Royal Rumble did hardly anybody touch him?
Well, that's concerning more. I mean, he threw Brock out, he threw somebody else out. Undertaker punched him in the face a couple times and then threw him out. So okay, what do you want to see from this match then?
I'd like to see a good match, a good 10-minute match.
Yeah.
Back and forth, traditional match, but I don't think you're going to see that because I don't think Goldberg can go 10 minutes. I bet probably Goldberg go 5 minutes.
Where does Goldberg go from here? Do you think this will be his final match, or do you think he'll show up again around SummerSlam, or what?
I mean, being honest, I'd like to see him as an announce table.
As a commentator.
Yeah, Strike Force. He was a Strike Force commentator, if you remember, way back when it first started.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he was a Strike Force commentator.
That's kind of interesting because
he did a damn good job commentating MMA.
That's interesting because he's never been one known for his promos. So.
Yeah, I really don't think he didn't really do a whole lot of commentating. Really, nothing. They interviewed him in the ring, things like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's what's going to happen. My thing is just that if Goldberg gives him 10 minutes out there with Brock Lesnar, well, I think he might stick around for the summer a little bit. But if it's a squash match, like you just said, then why have him keep wrestling these matches?
Unless he's trying to get his men back up, trying to get back in best shape to where he can go a few more pay-per-views, and
Well,
more special little appearances and things like that.
Here's the thing.
Maybe that's what he's been doing the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was supposed to say. Well, hopefully he's been doing that leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I'm like you. I'd be disappointed if they had a squash match again.
Nevertheless, I'm going Brock Lesnar. I think that title's coming back home to Suplex City.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we've talked all about the WrestleMania card, man. We've gave our predictions. We've agreed on most things, disagreed on a couple of other things. We both had other ideas for this WrestleMania, but we're both pretty happy about how it's turned out to be. Now the guys just have to go out and deliver.
Yeah. I mean, I could have probably come up with a better one, but that's just me.
Well, whenever...
I don't get paid to do that.
That's right. I wish I did, but...
No doubt. That'd be a hell of a job to have.
Hey man, real quick before we sign off, we're not going to get into in depth because we've been going damn near an hour, right? We've been going damn near an hour right now, and we hadn't talked much, really anything about Friday night and Saturday night though. Friday night, the WWE Hall of Fame will be there. It's another wonderful class headlined by Kurt Angle. You got DDP going in, Rock and Roll Express with Jim Cornette there inducting them. Holy shit, you know. Rick Rude getting his just due, and then Saturday night, I know you don't keep up with it as much as I do, but NXT Takeover.
Who's headlining that?
Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode.
Going at it again.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to. So before we jump off and kind of finish it out, do you have anything else you want to say about the Mania card, Hall of Fame, or NXT or anything like that?
Definitely watch the Hall of Fame. I know it's one of my favorite parts of WrestleMania. I've never missed it.
Oh, absolutely.
And
first time you see Kurt Angle back. You excited for what?
I'm excited about this year's card.
Me too, man. Before we finish out, do you have any potential surprises you might see this weekend, either at the Hall of Fame or at NXT or really WrestleMania? Are you like kind of on the lookout for anything in particular, maybe a debut or something like that?
I heard reports that what's your guy's name in New Japan?
Kenny Omega?
Yeah. Was supposedly gonna be at WrestleMania.
Well, if he's there, I think he's going to have to be there as a fan because word on the street, well, not word on the street, reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and then, of course, confirmed, was that he re-signed a contract extension throughout the summer with New Japan.
Yeah, I read that too. But then I read that he was supposedly going to be at WrestleMania.
Speaking of people...
So maybe Vince McMahon pulled a smooth one.
Maybe he did. And, you know, I would like that. I would like to see... a little trade-off between New Japan and WWE and stuff like that every now and then.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hurt for the fans.
No. Anything else?
Something else I keep waiting on.
What?
Sister Abigail, like the real one.
The chick, huh?
They kind of killed it in this.
Well, they definitely killed it the other night because Randy Orton stuck a cross in the grave or something like that.
Yeah, but supposedly. Reading again, I'll keep going back to this. They have a girl that's a wrestler that we're going to bring up with the Wyatt family.
Well, they have
now,
to.
After you've done all this, why not bring her out at WrestleMania to help Bray Wyatt?
I've been hearing for a while that Bray Wyatt's real life sister, her name is Mika Rotunda, has actually been training to be a wrestler. Like that just seems like it would be a natural fit.
That's gonna be her.
Yeah. Anything else before I jump into a couple of mine?
That's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're just excited to hear mine, man.
Hold on about Daniel Bryan. I'm good.
Shinsuke Nakamura on the main roster. That's always been in the back of my mind. Maybe he comes out there and helps Seth Rollins if he gets beat down or something like that. Nevertheless, I think he'll be debuting on the main roster pretty damn soon.
I think it'd be great to have him in Battle Royal, to be honest with you.
Oh, if he's in it, he's got to win it. Fuck Braun. Yeah. Also, there's two brothers out there who have recently left the Impact Zone. They're kind of crazy. They like to do a couple things with some tables, some ladders, and chairs every now and then.
Yeah.
The Hardy
Man,
Boys.
Two brothers you talking about?
The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. They debuted in Ring of Honor and won their world titles, their world tag team titles. But to my knowledge, they haven't signed an actual contract with these guys. And recently, they took their merchandising website off the grid, which we all know that WWE likes to control their merchandise, their guys, pretty strictly. So, hint, hint, you may not see that at WrestleMania, but we know that the Raw after WrestleMania is always pretty damn wild.
And then both of them I read that they said they wanted to end their career in WWE.
Yeah. Matt and Jeff Hardy, be on the lookout for those guys. There was something else, man, that I really, I had something else in mind, but I can't, shit, what was it? Do you think, this wasn't it, but do you think Stone Cold, The Rock, or any of these guys will show up down in Orlando?
They may, but I mean, it's going to be all for naught because last year, was it last year or year before, when The Rock came out there with Ronda Rousey?
That was the year before.
Okay, yeah. That kind of thought you were going to see a Rock Triple H WrestleMania.
Yeah.
For next year, you know.
Of course, they had.
Nothing came out of it.
Of course, they had Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley go out there and beat up the New Day last year.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I love.
One year, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and who else was with them?
The Rock. That was at WrestleMania 30.
The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was great.
That's when Hogan said it was in the
Silverdome, brother.
Yeah, the Silverdome. But Hulk, man. Of course, he was in the news a couple years ago a lot, but don't be surprised if you see him make his return back to WWE. There was rumors that it might even be WrestleMania 33. You know, a lot of the stink off of what happened to him is kind of washed away as time heals all wounds. So
I'd love that. Hulk Hogan, I mean, that was my hero growing up.
Hulk Hogan.
Some kids like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
I was Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan belongs in the WWE. That's just that.
I think they need him much as he needs them.
Oh, well, I think that's going to about do it for WrestleMania or surprises, anything like that. You got anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
You want to touch on Paige a little bit? No pun intended.
Yeah, let's do it. You started off, brother.
Well, a few weeks ago, WWE women's wrestler Paige had I think it was her Instagram account that was hacked.
I don't know.
You know what it was?
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm not sure. I was kind of late to the party. The day that it happened, I didn't read about it until a couple days later.
Yeah, I think it was her Instagram account.
Something like that. Facebook,
Something like
maybe?
that.
Yeah.
She had several videos of her, pretty much like porns. Several of them with different guys. One guy I didn't recognize him. The other guy was Brad Maddox, and then they had one with Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods together.
We're not going to share that on the Facebook page, by the way.
No, definitely not.
You can I'm sure you can find that on your own if you want to see that. But yeah, you know, shit like that happens. I mean, it was kind of strange some of the stuff that went down in the video. If
yeah,
you know, but it is very different because we in the past we've seen wrestlers nude photos be leaked. Shit, Seth Rollins, it happened to him a while ago. And, you know, but I don't think we can ever see a video. I mean, Sunny did her thing, but that was legitimately porn.
Yeah, that was after.
Yeah.
China did her thing after.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel a little sorry for Paige. You know, shit, that was meant to be private and all that other stuff like that. But
Hogan had one, too. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it netted him $100 million, huh?
Yeah.
A lawsuit. Well...
She actually come out with a statement a few days ago also.
Yeah, you know...
Saying that, you know, she thought her husband was going to leave her and her family would disown her and shun her, but everybody's been real supportive of her because, you know, this was an attack. cyberbullying, you know.
Yeah.
Hacked into her account, got her personal thing. I mean, that's really a shitty situation she was in.
It is, you know, and it's one thing, and I don't want to mistake. Me and you aren't making fun of the situation, making light of the joke
No,
of it or
I think
anything.
it was wrong.
It's definitely wrong, and you know, but then people out there, they're gonna make jokes and shit like that with it, and you know, yeah, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that when you're a celebrity and something like this happens to you. But at the same time, they're human beings too. They're people, and I'm sure it was just as hard for Alberto Del Rio, who is her soon-to-be husband, to watch that as it was her.
They got married because she said her husband in the state.
Yeah, I think they're getting married pretty soon. Where does this leave her with the WWE though? We know she's kind of already in hot water because she had some substance. Or not, well, I don't want to say that. She had a wellness violation. Then she got injured, so we hadn't seen her in a while.
From the report, it said that her nor Xavier Woods were punished because this was a infringement on their privacy that brought these to light, and it wasn't them who did it themselves.
Well, and that's the right move. They shouldn't be punished. In fact, I know you. I don't know if you watched Raw 2 weeks ago, but they did a segment with the New Day in the back, and they kind of hinted at something. Big E and Kofi were on screen, and they said, "Xavier, do you have anything you need to say?" And the camera cuts to Xavier, and he goes, "Yeah," and he starts cutting a promo about WrestleMania. But it was kind of, you know, ha-ha
They're
moment.
waiting on him to say something about Paige.
Yeah, but
Yeah, this definitely was not a good thing for her or anybody else who was involved in it. But I think WWE made the right move.
yeah,
But to me, you're a celebrity, okay? You know those people. You've seen actresses and actors and different people get their accounts hacked into. Why would you have that somewhere?
well,
You know what I mean?
I think that separates the smart. Well, I don't know how to phrase this. You know, it's just a tough situation. I'll say this: I don't think John Cena has much stuff like that on his phone. He probably has it somewhere,
Yeah,
but you know, he's probably smart enough that it's not on his phone or a computer or something like that. Maybe he has a stash of Polaroids in an envelope sealed under his bed in a safe or something. Hell, I don't know. Anyway.
I don't have any idea, but to me, that's just. I mean, you've seen people. This has happened since the internet really kicked off.
Yeah.
It's been happening to actors and actresses, celebrities all over the world.
Yeah.
Not just in America. I mean, all over the world.
Absolutely.
So you know, eventually somebody's gonna say, "Hey, I wonder what Paige got to do. She got any flicks on her phone."
Yeah. And she definitely did.
Shit. There you go. They found a whole. You know, probably.
It makes me wonder.
Just saw a glimpse of it.
Yeah, that
also, what else was on it.
that makes me wonder what else was on it. You know, because yeah. Anyway, let's get off this topic. You know, I think we've gone.
Shitty thing happened to Paige.
Yeah.
Best wishes to her, and maybe all this will blow over.
Oh, it will in time, just as it did with Seth Rollins. So, anyway, well, let's give them something to watch. We hadn't done this in a while. WrestleMania matches, anything like that? Particular WrestleMania cards you want to give anybody to watch for this weekend?
I like, I think which one it was. Maybe 8. Is that the one where they rode the carts to the ring?
They've done that on several times. WrestleMania 8 was in the Hoosier Dome. It was the same. I think Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ric Flair wrestled for the world title. It was headlined.
Andre the Giant kicking Bobby Heenan out of the car.
That might have been like WrestleMania 6 or something like that. With
That's the one I'm talking about. He was teaming up with Haku. That was his tag team partner at the time.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it might be WrestleMania 6. That's the same one where Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior main evented.
That is it. That is my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Next to WrestleMania 30.
WrestleMania 30 is your favorite. Wow, that was going to be a discussion for a different day. That surprises me.
This is in New Orleans, man. Not because your little goat boy won a title.
Well, I'm going to give you something to watch. If you want to check out a whole WrestleMania card, I think the best one out there is probably WrestleMania 17 with Stone Cold and The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker. It was the Attitude Era, basically, the ending of the Attitude Era. But if you want to just check out a particular match, we touched on it earlier. There are none better, in my opinion. I watched this match last night than The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. If you could have a perfect wrestling match, I don't know if there's such thing, but they damn near came close to it.
I agree with you 100%.
And if you want to get even further, you can check out the match they had a year later, Shawn's retirement match at WrestleMania 26, almost just as good.
And I don't know if I've said this before. If you like podcasts, listen to Stone Cold podcast with Braun Strowman.
Yeah. No, Austin did kind of what we're doing the other day. He previewed WrestleMania 33 with Court Bauer, and again, another phenomenal podcast. I'm also going to throw this out there too. Bruce Pritchard has a pretty good podcast with Conrad Thompson called Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. You know, I always learn something new every time I listen to it, so check that out too. Anything else you want?
10 down, 100 to go.
Yeah, 10 down. Say that again.
10 down, 100 to go.
Let's do it. You can follow us on Twitter at There's the Bell 17. Also, go to our Facebook page. Been getting a couple more likes here and there, so I'm glad to see that. There's the Bell with Max Hawkins and Cody Butler. Pretty active on it.
Once again, all criticism, compliments, anything you want to say are very welcome.
Yeah, I don't care what it is. If you hate us, you hate us. Say that. If you love us, well, that's even better. If you want to send us a gift basket, just forward it to... Nah, I'm not going to do that. All right, Cody, it was good talking to you, man, and looking forward to next week where we will obviously review WrestleMania and touch on the high points, hopefully not many low points, and do all that. And then, of course, we'll also talk a little UFC with because their next weekend is going to be a big card. Anthony Rumble Johnson taking on Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
All right, man. Enjoy WrestleMania.
All right, bud, you too.
Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house.